And we are live. Hello, what's going on, traders? Johnny here. And today is the final day of trading for 2024 because today is December 31st. How crazy is that? Another year has gone by and another year to look forward. I'm super pumped. Thank you for joining. Give me just a second to share this link. Perfect. Okay. How are you guys doing? Last trading day of the year. Tomorrow the markets are closed. So even though you'd like to trade tomorrow, the markets are closed tomorrow, January 1st, 2025 for New Year's. Guys, I have a lot of great stuff planned for this new year, 2025, for all of you who have joined the channel. Super pumped and excited to share it with you all. Why is this not working? Wow. Okay. It works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. All right. Just going to do this and this and this. Okay. All right. We're good. We're posted. So guys, possible sell-off. Markets are selling off actually as we speak. Okay. SQQQ, actually, I was looking at it last night and I was like, man, this would be a great opportunity to buy in again on SQQQ. We bought in yesterday pre-market around 29.40, sold at 29.40. We sold at 30.65 right in this area, resulting in a 4% profit. It went up almost 5%, right? Before coming back down yesterday. And then we set up very nicely again today, right here, buying at 30. My entry for SQQQ, again, this is the inverse triple leveraged ETF. So when the market goes down, SQQQ goes up. Okay, and this is shorting the NASDAQ market. We're going to talk about that right now. But that key position here was to buy at 30.50. So first signs of breakout above pre-market levels. So 30.50, bought the breakout, sold at 31, leaving about 30 cents on the table, but still resulting in around 1.65%, 50 cents in profit. But I mean, geez, on 100 shares, that's $50. So nothing too crazy, but nothing, it was a light position. Started light, 10 shares, added, and then sold very aggressively there toward the end. Now, why did I do that? Because QQQ opened this morning, could not hold above that 45-day moving average. So it actually began to sell off, and that's when I took that opportunity to get in on SQQQ. As you can see here, QQQ has been selling off from that $531 level all the way down right now to 510 for around a 4% sell-off. Now 4% times 3 is 12%, which means SQQQ should have gone up about 12% since we called it out in our Sunday stock talk. 27.63 to 31, a 13% profit in 6 days, guys. So me personally and on the YouTube channel, I aim for 10% a week. That's roughly 2% a day in profits. And with this one single trade, buying and holding, would have resulted in a 13% profit. Now, of course, it wouldn't have been maybe a perfect trade. Maybe you waited for that confirmation above the EMA line right here, as this was very low. Could have continued to sell off. I'd say this would have been a good opportunity to buy, say right at 28, and then selling here at 31. That's a 10.88% profit, $3 per share. So, buying 100 shares at 28, selling 100 shares at 31 would have resulted you in a $300 profit in less than a week. So that's $300 in a week. You do that times 4, that's $1,200 in a month. So that's an extra, $1,000 to help grow your account. And this is shorting the market, guys. So, I'm an avid trader of somewhat like Bitcoin, where I'll trade Mara And again, it's been downtrending since 1217. So there's no point in, trading something that's downtrending. Now I did trade it this morning when it tested this EMA, right? Lost about $4, guys. That's nothing. $4, I could live with losing $4. I think I have $4 and change somewhere lying around to offset the difference, right? So good risk management on my part. I bought very low, bought at a very low level. I think it was right around 1750, and it pushed up. Should have locked in profits at 18. Didn't. Thought maybe it'd retest, and it didn't hold. I waited pretty much all day around $17 as it was holding pretty fairly strong along this $17 support. You guys see that right there? I'm trying not to clutter my graph with too many lines nowadays, but it held that support very nicely and then dipped below it, retested, and came down. And that's when I stopped loss out. Didn't lose much, guys. Very small loss. But the potential could have been far greater, right? We're in those levels for when that pullback does occur. That's a 55% profit if it goes back up to just $25. Now, it doesn't mean Mara has to, because again, Bitcoin is actively selling off just like the markets are. It was at a key level yesterday and today, right? Today it tested that level here, that 200-day moving average, and it just continues to get rejected, right? Got rejected here, and it got rejected here. So now we have, we have rejection. So it's still showing signs of it selling off. On the 4-hour chart, it is below, well below the 200-day moving average now. Bitcoin is sitting at $93,500. And so with that said, I can see this continuing to sell off. And we've talked about this before in our live streams and our Sunday stock talks. This can very easily come back down to 70,000, even down to $55,000, guys. So be very careful with Bitcoin. And I wouldn't mind it coming down. If it comes down, then Mara will come down to a much lower price as well. We've traded it in all of these different levels and areas. They have some nice horizontal patterns we were able to play in April and May of this year. And then this downtrend, very aggressive, basically pump and then dump again here. Very aggressive pump and then dump. So we've been tracking this for quite some time. And this can very easily go back to $3 per share, guys. So this is not something you'd want to hold long term. I did day trade it just for that reason here, because it was holding pre-market this morning and rising up and then could not hold. Now, in another scenario, if this was able to basically do exactly what we were thinking, come up, test, bounce, test, and then pop up, that would have been a whole different story. But it did not do that, right? Came up, it retested, it failed that retest, came down. It even retested it one more time on the other end, not only as a support, but also tested it as a weak resistance. And sure enough, it got rejected. Strong resistance right here. And it's been in a downward trend ever since. So this could potentially bounce back up tomorrow, right? We're still haven't broke that $90,000 support. But if Bitcoin does drop that $90,000 support, then we can see a huge sell-off, right? But it's staying quite above. 91.29 was a low that I got to today. Again, creating lower lows and lower highs, guys. We have to be careful with this. Lower lows and lower highs is never good. Look at that downtrend from 1008. This thing can continue to go down, right? So let's be very careful with this. Crucial points. Bitcoin never sleeps. It is a 24/7, 24-hour a day, 7-day a week market. Bitcoin never sleeps. So let's keep an eye on this even tomorrow as the markets are closed for New Year's, because it is New Year's Eve here in the US. And I'm sure across the world, obviously. I'm sure everyone celebrates it. So tomorrow the markets will be closed, but Bitcoin will still be actively, hopefully, selling off. I'm thinking the sell-off can happen until mid or even late January to mid-February, guys. That's what's so scary about this. Like, not a lot of people realize how quickly this can actually begin to sell off. 50% very easily, and that puts us right there, middle of February, right? Then we buy again in February. Everyone has their income tax money and, hopefully money in general available to trade this. Maybe you're buying at 53 and selling at 100,000 again. Maybe it pops up again to 120, 150, right? I'd be good with just it pumping back up to 100. Make 100% of your money right there. So let's see how this cycle plays out. Okay, I'm no fortune teller, future teller, whatever you want to call it. But let's just make sure that we are paying attention to these cycles, because there are cycles, okay, guys? There are cycles within Bitcoin. Look at these. Look at these cycles here. From 1,800 up to 20 grand, back down to 3,800, right? And then a huge push up to 65,000 and then dropped all the way back to 28. Pushed all the way back up to 69, came way back down to 14. Okay, so you can very easily lose money trading Bitcoin or any other type of altcoin, Ethereum, even Mara, anything that is based around Bitcoin right now. You need to be very careful because these are very overbought levels, guys. Just because it hit 100 grand doesn't mean anything. Okay, it's a great milestone, but if it's going to continue to sell off to 50, then it was all for nothing. And we're back at these $50,000 levels, trading between 53 and 70,000, which was what? Around February and March of this year. So history does tend to repeat itself. Okay. And for all of you tuning in real quick, guys, if you haven't already, there is 60% of you watching right now that are not subscribed. So if you find value in what I do here, subscribe. That's simple. Do yourself a favor. Thanks, guys. Okay, so QQQ. Markets are closed tomorrow. Okay, Bitcoin is actively selling off. The markets are actively selling off. And that's fine. We want stuff to sell off. We want this aggressiveness. Now, for people who are long-term bag holders, right? People who are holding long-term, that's great and all. But 538, 530s in general would have been your area to, maybe take some profits off the table. Go on a trip, go on a vacation, or at least reduce your position size when it's at a max level, right? At a max, take 50% off the table. So when you do get these pullbacks to $500, you can buy more shares at a cheaper price. Now, I'm not saying to buy at 500, but with the way this is going, it's very bullish, and it's just pulling back, testing that 200-day moving average. Now, what was critical was yesterday. This was a critical key level. If you didn't watch that video from yesterday, definitely check it out, because we talk about this critical level here on the 4-hour time frame with the 200-day moving average. Look at that. Yesterday, it just consolidated on that level. Pre-market, it was below it. After hours in pre-market, tested it one more time, guys, and got rejected. Now, if this would have ended up, see how this was above? If this would have pushed even just a little bit above the 200-day moving average, we would have seen some buyers step in. It's very bullish. But right now, it's below that moving average, and it actually is below our support level. We had a previous 511 support due to all the consolidation back in November. Between November 7th and November 14th, for an entire week, it consolidated between 510 and 513. Critical key level. A critical key level, okay? All along while staying above that 200-day moving average. Well, it retested the moving average last week. We almost saw signs of a sell-off last week. Recovered, okay? Is that a false breakout? Can you consider that as a breakout? Definitely an opportunity to make money from 504 to 531. That was a 5% profit in 6 days. I aim for 10% profit a week. So that's about half of my weekly goal in a single trade, okay? Now it's selling off. It broke that key level, and now this is actually a red line, guys. This is no longer support. It's going to have to be tested as a resistance. So on Thursday, because the markets are closed on Wednesday, right? Tomorrow, the markets are closed. It's going to skip a day, and we'll see. Does this go above the 512 resistance, which was a support? Does it get above the 200-day moving average, which is clearly way up here at $518? And then we start showing signs of it pushing up after we get confirmation that it's bullish, but only if it's bullish, right? If it doesn't, right, this gets rejected right here next week, then we could see this start to sell off even more, guys. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it selling off a little bit, so that way we can get in and create an opportunity for us to make some money. Now, would I trade QQQ? No, because it's $500 for one, so I can't buy as many shares as a day trader. And I'm only getting 1-for-1 of the NASDAQ market. So when the NASDAQ market is up 1%, QQQ goes up 1%. Whereas TQQQ will go up 3%. This is a 3 times or a triple leveraged ETF for the market. So when the market does begin to recover, the same way we traded SQQQ when the market was selling off, right? We will do the exact opposite for TQQQ. But we have to see signs of confirmation. When this begins to rally, right? It's even coming up into another $76 support level here, right? If it begins to rally and the markets recover, then TQQQ would be the one I would want to play. Even moving from $79 up to previous resistance of $90, that's $10 per share, 13% profit. So however you want to calculate it in your head, the easiest way I like to do it is 100 share increments times $10 per share is $1,000. Okay, $1,000. And how much is 100 shares? It's about $7,900. Okay. Are you risking all 7,900? No. I mean, the stock would have to pretty much sell off 100% to lose all that. But I would risk about 1%, right? 1% of 100 shares is not insane, right? That's a little less than $1 per share. So about $100 to make potentially $1,000, right? A 1 for 10 risk to reward. Only if the markets begin to go up. Now, if the markets sell off, guys, I'm going to continue to buy or trade SQQ, right? We even have an alert for $33. If the markets sell off aggressively, we can begin to see some new levels here. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this level, as that was a key level. This was also a key level. Another key level is coming up for SQQQ, 3150 and 33. If we can get above 33, we might be able to short this from, 33 to 37, making a 12% profit or $4 per share. Not as lucrative and also a lot more risky, okay, because it might not make that entire move in one day. So we would actually be playing these small increment moves each day as it begins to show signs of it going up, right? So like here, strong indication of it going up past that EMA. I would have bought in there right here, sold at the high, 4.5% profit in a day, waited for that pullback the next day, get in here at this high, breakout, boom, another 5%. That's 10% in 2 days. Another breakout, following day, above 200-day moving average, boom, another 3.65%, right? Dollar per share. You make $1 per share at 100 shares, you're doing okay. And this one's fairly cheaper than TQQQ, right? So when the markets are selling off, I love it. I love when the markets are selling off because not only am I getting in at a cheaper price, right? When the markets are doing good, I have to spend a little more money. I have to spend close to $7,000, $8,000 to buy 100 shares when the markets are doing well. But when the markets are doing poorly and the markets are doing bad and they're selling off and everyone's like, we're losing money and we're holding long term and why is Apple going down and why is Tesla going down and oh no, what's going on? I don't have to worry about that because one, I'm not holding anything overnight. Don't have any active open positions. I don't swing trade anymore. Okay, I've gotten burned too many times. And I have the ability to get in and out of positions whenever I want, right? So SQQQ, it's cheaper. You can buy 100 shares for $3,000 instead of $7,000. $3,000 here, make 5%, right? $1.50 per share, $150 each day, making anywhere from $100 to $200. So very simple method for when the markets do sell off, because that's exactly what's happening. But that doesn't mean that you have to wait for the markets to recover, which could take a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and you just stand by and you have all this cash on hand, or you're invested, right? The worst thing you can do is invest at an all-time high and then wait for it to recover to only break even. Let me say that again, okay? The worst thing you could possibly do is buy in at an all-time high, say at $530, and wait and stress and wait and stress the entire time for this thing to eventually go back up to break even. To break even. Do you guys see this right here? That is break even. That is not investing. You don't buy at the high, lose 20%, and then you go back and be like, oh, I made 20% profit over here, when in reality you broke even. You let this company use your money for however long. I mean, this could be a couple of days, this could be a couple of months, this could be a couple of years. This is why I do not like to hold anything overnight. We do not want to be this person who's buying up here, wishing and hoping that it recovers to get our money back if we don't sell at a low. Get freaked out, sell at a low, and then now you're down on money, you're discouraged, you're asking yourself why I traded, and then it goes up, and you're like, why didn't I hold? And now you're stressing yourself out and beating yourself up for a whole nother thing of from why I sold early and lost money to now why didn't I hold it to make the money back, or I should have bought down here, and all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas and what ifs. That could all be avoided. I'm telling you, it could all be avoided. I've been there. I've been there. Don't invest in something that has a downtrend. Only invest in something that has an uptrend, right? We want to see trend lines. We missed that opportunity with QQQ. Look at these uptrends. Look at these beautiful, beautiful uptrends. 8%. 8%, you didn't have to do anything, right? Same thing with this. Another 5.5% in less time. But now as the markets sell off, let's be cautious and aware and understand. Look, SQQQ for the first time is above that 200-day moving average. It's been selling off for a long time. Markets have been doing very well. Last time the market sold off, look at this. Once it crossed above the 200-day moving average, SQQQ went from $38 to $56 in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, guys, you could have made 45% profit. And this is why we're talking about this. This is the last trading day of the year. Markets are selling off. There's no doubt about it. Okay, look at this downtrend. The markets were doing so great in this period, and now they're finally selling off, right? Could this be the time? Could this be the moment that we get more selling pressure? It's very possible. But we have to also respect the fact that the markets are very bullish. They have been for quite some time. When we look on the daily chart, the last time we had any type of a downtrend was back in November 2021. November 21, it went down to $250 by October that following year. So for, what is that, a year? 326 days of downtrend in the market. Is this something that can repeat itself now? Yes. Look how much of an aggressive, let's go to the weekly. Look how aggressive this thing pushed up. A nice solid push up. This was the last time it pushed up was 2020. It pushed up 139% and then corrected itself back to the 200-day moving average. Took a year to do it, but it went down 34%, okay? It went down a third. Are we going to see that again? It going all the way up from that moving average to highs, 112%. It's pushed up in literally 2 years. It's been nothing but going up, okay? That's what I want you guys to understand. We've been in an uptrend for 2 years. Now, could potentially, let me move this little bar here. Could this potentially do the exact same thing and sell off maybe 30%? Where would that put us? Right there, guys. Right at the frickin' 200-day moving average. What do you know? Right? What do you know? Let me draw this to showcase where it's going to end up. You see the green line right here? How I started morphing it into the yellow one? Let's just go like right here. Okay? You see that? That's the projection it's playing right now. Can I make this green? That'd be cool. Huh. Yeah, I can. I don't know if I can get it as green as I'd like it, but I got it green. So that's what we're looking at, guys. We're looking at a significant sell-off. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but it definitely can due to past history. And this is what I love about the stock market, guys, because if you can begin to read and understand past history, patterns, key levels, moving averages, then it sounds like a lot, but it's not. Then you can, honestly do this full time or part time or whatever you want. But the point is, you can do this and master it once you start identifying these key levels, key areas of opportunity. Look at that, 616 days it had a bull run and then sold off for a year. This one, 728 days, and now it's beginning to sell off again. There's nothing, there's not rocket science, and it doesn't have to happen, right? We can see this just bloop and just continue to go up to $600, right? There's nothing saying that we have to have a significant sell-off, but it is showing signs of it technically doing this. So with that said, guys, 30% sell-off to that 200-day moving average would put it right back where it was about 2 years ago. SQQQ is triple leveraged. So if QQQ sells off 30%, where does that put SQQ, guys? Where does it put SQQ? Let's go to the daily. We buy at 31.50, okay? And again, I'm more of a day trader, so I wouldn't necessarily be holding. So let's just look at, say, 31.50, and it goes up, not 30% because it's triple leverage. It would actually go up 90%. Where are we at? 59.50 or $60 where previous levels were. It's amazing. It's amazing how history does tend to repeat itself, right? So, very significant move. Definitely very possible. And I wanted to share it with you guys. So, yeah, this is a live stream. Been about 27 minutes. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, definitely let me know in the chat room. I do apologize for not going live in the mornings the last week or two. I guess this would be the place to tell you guys, but I am going to be going through a minor surgery soon, and I could always update you more on that later. But swift recovery. Should be in and out same day, but recovery time's like a week or two. So there may be a couple days where I'm lying on my bed and I'm trading on my computer, on my laptop. So yeah, wish me luck on it. That's all I can say, That's all I can say. Maybe I'll do a video on it or something. But yeah, minor surgery coming up, guys. But yeah, end of the year too. We got a lot of great stuff coming up at the beginning of this year. I'm so excited, so pumped for our team, our Learn to Earn team. Our Learn to Earn lesson library is actually getting updated. So we haven't even officially got through our first version of it. And I'm already thinking about version 2.0. I'm like, go slow down, Johnny. Get through version 1 first. Let's get it in the work first, right? So couple hiccups at the end of this month, being injured and having to do all these doctor visits and go through all these tests to get this surgery. But hey, once it's over, new year, new beginning. I'm excited and grateful to even be alive still. So every day, just be grateful you're here, be grateful for the opportunities that we have, and that's kind of how I'm living the end of the day of the year and pushing it into next year, right? Midnight is coming. And again, a lot of great content, guys. A lot of great videos, a lot of great new content on new and different exciting ways to make money online using a computer. So also, if you're interested in any YouTube statistics or stats, let me know. I could put on my end of the year review for YouTube, as we did clear a good amount of money, as we are now officially a partner with the YouTube That sounds funny with the YouTube, but we're partners, YouTube partners. We are monetized. We do make money monthly. If you guys are interested on, maybe my monthly income, streams of income, stuff like that, definitely just ask, and maybe I could do a video on it. All right, as far as stocks go, the market is closed tomorrow. The markets are closed tomorrow, but I still may end up doing a video. I'm gonna try to get as many videos as I can before I go through my surgery. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, smash that bell notification, and we'll see you all in the next video, guys. Appreciate your time. Lots of love, and I hope you guys ended the year on a green note.